All right, guys, let's talk about long tail funnels and essentially how to increase return on ad spend for your client. Now, when you would have gone through the rapid fire test and you would have activated your funnel, usually what you would have in place at this stage is some top of funnel activity. So you've either got a piece of content right at the top, like a video or a blog post that's warming up the audience that is then being retargeted with your offer, or you're going straight to your offer if that worked in your situation. And then you've got some basic retargeting on the back of that. So usually the retargeting on the back of that is people that visited the landing page but didn't opt in. And so normally that's people that visited in the last sort of 14 days, didn't opt in, and you'd have some kind of basic retargeting to try and pick up more leads for your client. Well, when we talk about building out a long tail funnel, what we're actually talking about here is, okay, we've set up the initial funnel, it's generating leads, it's doing a good job. However, we've got so many different people that we have warmed up or we have touched with our funnel at this stage that we're not really engaging. And so if we can build out a long tail funnel and retarget all the different groups of people that have come in touch with our funnel, we can incredibly increase the amount of leads that we get through and also reduce that cost per lead. Sorry, I was lost for words there for a minute. So this is what a long tail funnel is all about. Now in lead gen, typically you're going to have three main types of audiences. So you'll have people that viewed the landing page but didn't opt in. And we can break this down between 10 days, 20 days, and 30 days. This is pretty much the typical window. Now, this is a generalization here, these numbers, guys. It's important that you take into account what kind of client you have and also how much traffic is being sent through. If your client is only spending, $200 a month on ad spend, there's not going to be many people in that retargeting audience. And so you're better off actually just doing viewed lander 30 days at this stage, making it a broader window. However, if there's quite a bit of traffic coming through, then you can separate that out quite a bit. The second audience we have is people that opted in but didn't become customers. Now, how do we know if they became a customer or not? Well, this is going to come down to your offline event tracking. So make a habit of uploading a customer list to the ad account every month so that you can actually create a custom audience of customers and exclude them from this retargeting sequence. So people that have opted in, i.e. they became leads, but they didn't become customers. So what can we do in this situation? Well, we're breaking it down by 5 days, 60 days, and 180 days, and I'm going to show you some creative ideas in a moment. But essentially, with the 5 days, what we're trying to do with this one is we know that it's, hopefully within a 5-day window, our client will be getting on a call with that lead. So what we want to do is we really want to reinforce the authority of our client, and we can retarget them. Anyone that opted in, we can retarget them with things like, as seen on, or testimonials, or anything that reinforces the desire for the lead to actually pick up the phone with your client and convert into a customer. And then finally, the last audience that we have here is people that purchase, so customers. Again, this is going to be based off a customer list that your client provides you with, which you then upload into Facebook as a custom audience. And we can break this down into 30, 60, and 180 days. Again, if your client is not getting, over 30, 40 people, and even that is so small, it's not going to feed out very well. So if they don't get many customers per month, you may not be able to segment this out or even run this kind of ad set. So just be aware of that. All right, so let's have a look at some creative ideas for the first audience, people that viewed the lander but didn't become a lead. What can we do in this instance to try and get them to become a lead so that we haven't just wasted all this money in our funnel on these individuals? So the first thing is you've got viewed lander in the last 10 days, 20 days, and 30 days. These are just ideas, so think outside the box as well. But if someone opts in the last 10 days but doesn't convert, what we can do is show them the same offer but with a testimonial and using a messenger ad. So you can see here the example of the ad here. It's just using a testimonial inside of quotes. and prompting them to go to Messenger. Why are we sending them to Messenger and not back to the landing page? Well, the reality is if you sent them to a landing page the first time around and they didn't convert, it makes no sense to send that person back to the same landing page expecting them to behave differently. It's better if you send them into Messenger or a lead ad or a different landing page altogether. And then if we're looking down, for example, viewed lender in the last 30 days, what you could do here is talk about, annihilate one of their objections. So maybe one of their big objections is price point, or maybe one of their big ones is trust, right? So what can you do? What can you talk about? What can your copy say to annihilate that objection? And then also pulling urgency and again, sending through to a different funnel such as Messenger. So the formula below is kind of an example of how you would set up the audience targeting for, this one is for people that viewed Lander within the days 11 to 20. So what you do is you create a custom audience of people that viewed the Lander. You're going to have a standard event on that landing page. So you'll create a custom audience of people that triggered that standard event in the last 20 days. You'll create a custom audience of people that triggered that standard event in the last 10 days, and you will exclude the 10-day one from your 20-day one, and you'll also exclude customers, the customer list. Now, if we look at people that did opt in, so leads, what we can do, as I mentioned, is those that opted in the last 5 days, is encourage them to convert as customers by building authority, so testimonials, as seen on, etc., etc. Leads that opted in the last 60 days, we can give them a call to action of urgency. Hey, this is going to expire soon. Make sure that you get in, book your time in with us, or show some more testimonials. So you'll see the ad example there on the left-hand side is building in that urgency of the call to action. And then again, we've got the formula down there. So this one here is targeting people that became a lead between days 41 to 60. So we create a custom audience of anyone that triggered the standard event lead in the last 60 days. We create a custom audience of anyone that triggered the standard event lead in the last 40 days, and we exclude one from the other as well as our customers. And then if we're looking at our customers, one of the things that you can do here is really try to build them up as ambassadors, right? These are people that have purchased from you. They're more likely to purchase from you than a cold audience. So staying top of mind and nurturing that relationship goes a really, really long way in repeat purchase. Now again, try to think about what kind of industry your client is in. If your client is in real estate, the reality is that most people don't buy a new home every 6 months. It may take about three to 6 years, right? So think of the context of the industry that your client is in, and maybe this isn't as segmented as this example here. But let's say, for example, we're still talking about the hair salon. Well, anyone that became a client in the last 30 days, we could show value-based tips, we can show behind-the-scenes stuff, we can literally just boost the most recent posts on that Facebook page to our customers just to build top of mind. You can also create a really cool targeting where you are targeting people that purchase and are about to have a birthday come up. So you can run with a happy birthday message. That's going to build a lot of loyalty with your customers, right? Because it's just nice. And again, if you're looking down, people that purchased, 180 days ago, think of the context here, but you could offer them a top-up reminder. Hey, don't forget to book in for your hairstyle. Use this code when you're on the phone with us, etc., etc. And lastly, another really important thing to think about is the website, your client's website. Now, it may not be getting a lot of traffic, but you want to set up retargeting, especially based on what people have been looking at on the website. So typically speaking, if we're looking at lead generation websites, you're looking at maybe there's an FAQ or a pricing page, maybe there's packages, maybe there's services, maybe there's an about us. So think of the reasons why would someone be looking at the services page, right? And then they didn't book. So What can we do? Well, we can run an ad that tells them like, hey, are you not sure which service is right for you? Send us a message today, and and we'll respond to you and let you know what's best suited to you. So that's kind of an example here on the left-hand side as well. You're not sure what package you need, flick us a message with your ideal hairdo and we'll try to sort it out for you. So think about why people would be visiting those specific pages. Make sure you're excluding those that did actually request, go through and request an appointment. And then yeah, and get creative. Get creative with the ads that you're running. Think about the objections that people are having and annihilate that with your copy and your ads. So this is how to build out long tail funnels. This is what you do once your existing funnel is working, it's getting leads. This is what you'll do to optimize the whole thing.